Hello. So today, let's talk a little bit about pivoting. Pivoting is Barry Harris's way of describing octave displacement in all kinds of creative ways. Let's take a small example. So let's say I'm going to take a C major scale. I'll add one half step and end on the third of the scale. So again, for the half step rules, that's an upcoming video. There's a whole set of half step rules, how you put in a half step to make your lines fit the rhythm. But for now, we're coming down a C major scale, and if we add a half step between the fifth and the sixth and the fifth on the way down, between the A and the G, we end up with what people would call a major bop scale, and actually is also the sixth diminished scale. Now, let's say I want to come up a chord from the third, and in Barry Harris's definition of a chord is skip a note, skip a note, skip a note. So I'll come down to the third, and then come up, skip a note, skip a note, skip a note, and then maybe end back down. So I end up with this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So pivoting would be to displace the octave down in the middle of that chord. So will be, so the line then would be this. Let's say I'm doing a C7, and I'll put a half step between the root and the seventh, and then maybe I'll come up a diminished chord. Maybe I'm leading to an F minor, and again, I'm just pulling this out of my head, right? So it's, or I'll use the A flat. For major, I'd use the A natural. Let's take the major example. So pivoting so this becomes this. So we pivoted a major chord, a diminished, but you don't have to stop there. If you'll recall, there was a recent video about the 5, 4, 3, and 2 phrases, which I will link to in the description. And so, for example, back to my major example. There's a 5. I can pivot the 5. There's the regular way. I pivoted it up. Here's a 4. How would I pivot the 4? Let's look at the 3. No. 1, 2, 3. Pivoting. That's actually already the 4 is the 3 is a pivoted chord. Turns out, who knew? Okay, and then the 2. So you can pivot those. So many examples. Here we go. We're in A flat, and the beginning of Indiana. You know, so it's a. So A flat, F7 to B flat 7. Okay, this is a nice, interesting line, very standard bebop-y kind of a line. Let's try to pivot some of this stuff. Same notes, but so many possibilities. So, pivoting. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.